Orla, and I want to begin by supporting Deputy Naughton's call for the Board Namona wage subsidy situation and voluntary redundancy to be sorted out. I too was contacted by a number of workers and union reps in Shannonbridge, and I know that a number of workers were let go some weeks ago and they were given the pandemic payment. But the whole idea of the pandemic payment is for companies to keep the workers on the payroll. So there is an issue there, Minister. I too have received no response, and I did send that email a number of weeks ago. I believe it's something that needs to be looked into, in addition to clarity for workers who have looked for voluntary redundancy, please. And I just want to then take up the point in relation to your engagement with the banking sector. I did raise this matter a number of weeks ago and did emphasise to you that many mortgage holders in distress felt that they had no option but to look for the mortgage break, only to find out that they would be paying $2,000 to $3,000 extra because of having to avail of this. And I did point out to you that mortgage holders felt that they were being punished for this, and I asked for some engagement, further engagement with the banks to sort out the matter. I note that since then you have engaged further with the Central Bank of Ireland, the Banking Payments Federation and the Revenue Commissioners to support customers in difficulty due to COVID-19, and I would just ask for an update on the engagement in your reply, Minister. I also understand that the engagement included discussions on how extensive supports for SME customers will be rolled out, and I welcome that. But as I'm sure you are aware, many SMEs are in receipt of the Credit Guarantee Scheme. But there is a problem in that micro-enterprises and SMEs involved in agriculture, horticulture and the fisheries are excluded from the scope of this scheme. It appears that there's restrictions under state aid rules, and I'd just like some clarity on that, Minister. The current SME Credit Guarantee Scheme is about encouraging additional lending to SMEs by offering a partial government guarantee, currently 80%, to banks against losses on qualifying loans. The same sort of guarantees may be of immense importance to the sectors that I referred to previously. And I do believe that in terms of agriculture, horticulture and the fisheries, they need this now more than ever. I mean, the fact of the matter is that we're in an entirely different space at this point with respect to the rationale for the state aid rules. And it is no longer about competition, it is merely about survival. And we need to do all we can to support those sectors. I know farming organisations such as the IFA have called for these measures to be introduced. And I'd just like to ask you, in terms of that finance and the state aid rules, Minister, if you could make a comment, and also if there has been any negotiations in terms of easing or relaxing the state aid rules.
Thank you, Deputy, for the questions that you've raised there. And yes, you did indeed raise issues in relation to the banks with me there a number of weeks ago. I did meet the CEOs of the banks again with the Taoiseach there a number of days ago. And I just want to emphasise again to you that I think it is critical that a number of things happen across this period. The first one is that if breaks are entered into, which they're now being entered into for over 40,000 loan owners, that everybody is clear regarding what that break entails. So those who are receiving the break and those who are administering it are completely clear regarding what their commitments are going to be in the coming months and years. Secondly, that across that period and this period, nobody is profiteering from what is happening. The early signs are that is not going to be the case because of the degree of loss that our banks are already experiencing. And in relation to the questions that you put to me there regarding the relaxation of state rules and the engagement that we've had with the banking sector in relation to how money can flow directly to SMEs. So, Deputy, we are engaging with the banking sector on that point at the moment. As you'll be aware, the government made the decision to say that we're preparing legislation in relation to a credit guarantee. And we are looking at how that credit guarantee has been rolled out in other countries. And we're looking at how we can ensure that when we make this available here in Ireland, we've got the balance right between protecting the taxpayer, which I know you'll want to do, but also getting the decision right so that credit does actually flow to the SME on terms in which they would want. I'll be very brief. Apologies, Deputy Healy-Rae. State aid rules have been relaxed by the European Commission, and I'm not aware at the moment regarding how the current status would affect our ability to lend to the agricultural or horticultural sector. But if you could give me the detail of what you're referring to, I will follow up on it for you.